Test God as he tests you. We're going to get into it. Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome back. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. As God takes us through tests, we are free to test God on His Word. What will God do when we do as He says? Lean on Him, depend on Him, trust that He has plans to prosper us and never to harm us. What will He do when we test Him? The answer is we will fall madly in love. Because when we test God, which is exactly where He wants us, He will come through with precision. God says He uses our weakness to reveal His power. We see how miraculous He will come through in our weakness. So it's as if we're trying to do things on our own strength, maybe we're doing things on 90% of our own strength, then God can only perform at His 10% capacity. If we do things at our 50% strength, then He can come through with His 50% power. But what will it look like if we tip the scales all the way to our 10% strength? Then we give God the room to work in our life with His 90% power. How can we tip the scales in God's favor to see His powerful works in our life? As God tests us, test Him. And I know it's scary. I know it's daunting. I know we've never seen Him work at His full capacity. And the truth is, we never will until we relinquish it all to Him. Test Him and see that His word is good. Test Him and see if He won't come through better than you imagine. Because the only way we can imagine is by our limited way of thinking. But God operates in the unlimited. So we can't even begin to imagine what good He can bring about in our testing season. The only ones who will see how good it can get are the ones that are willing to literally relinquish it all to Him. And I'm becoming emotional because this is definitely a word for me. And it's God speaking to me through this message, because this is everything I have been asking Him in the faith walk that I find myself in this testing season that I find myself in. When you think back to your life, hasn't He always come through? Even in our darkest hours where we didn't know how we would make it, in our grieving, in our suffering, we didn't know how the bill would be paid. We don't know what He would do with the grief. We didn't know how we were going to overcome that illness. And yet He's come through every single time, right? And now imagine Perhaps you were struggling in that season, struggling to trust, struggling to believe, still kind of doing things on our own strength. Imagine what it would look like if we gave up the squirm, if we gave up the struggle, if we gave up the fight and literally just said, God, this is where you want me, take it. I'm going to go and do and be in this moment with you because there's nothing I can do with this moment. Imagine what it would look like if we literally just relinquished all of it, like 100% of it to him. How powerful would he work with that 100%? The answer is profoundly. Because that's exactly where he wants us. He works more powerfully with our weakness. Think about all the ones in the Bible. Everyone he used in the Bible, they weren't necessarily kings. They weren't necessarily at the top of their game. Yes, some of them had a lot of provision. Some of them were very powerful, but God really worked with the weakness, with the ones that were underestimated, if you will. God worked the most mighty with those individuals, those who were weak, those who had to clearly rely on God, those who were weak so that it would be like a billboard to everyone looking, the onlooking world saying, only God could have done this in this weak individual. Well, God, that's where he wants us right now. Totally surrendered, totally testing us on his word, on what he said he will do. As we're in our testing season, test God. We will fail, sure, over and over again, but God never will. Test and see if he is not good. Test and see if he will not do the miraculous with what you're giving him. I don't know about you, but I bet it all on him. And in this season, I am betting it all on him. I can't wait to see what he is about to do. But the truth is, friend, we can only see how good he is when we really give it to him. We got to go all in. We can't be on the fence. Being on the fence halfway in, halfway out will only get us those halfway results. God is saying, okay, well, you only want to relinquish half the bills to me, then great. I'll take care of this half. You take care of the other half. God says, oh, you only want to relinquish 10% of this to me. You want to do 90% on your own strength, building the business. Great. Well, then I'll work with the 10%. How powerful is that? You can't even, those lines are so blurred. When we're only giving 20% to God and we're doing 80%, we can't really see the 20%. It's like nothing, essentially. All we know is we're exhausted, we're exerted because we've been doing it 80% on our own strength. But can you imagine what he will do when we give it to him 100%? Then there is no doubt that it was God, right? Because we finally stood back and we just let him work with us in the 100%. Test God in your testing season. That is the way we'll actually ascend further, faster when we give it to God. We have nothing else to lose. In fact, we have everything to gain in this testing season. God will never drop the ball. God would never drop you. Never. Those are his promises. Will you finally test him in this season? I don't know about you, but I'm aching to see what he's about to do with me in my 100% surrender. Take it, God, because I don't want it. Take it, God, because I'm ready to see the miraculous. I'm ready to see how good it can actually get. And the truth is, it can only get that good when we surrender that deeply. And that is the truth. Thank you so much for joining this convo. I want to turn your attention to our book, Fake Ass Vegan, that's available on Amazon. Make sure that you check it out. And if you have a copy, please go back to Amazon and review it. We would love to hear what you have to say, and your reviews make our book more reachable. Also, check out our merch at told.shop. And also, don't forget to like and comment. How did this message resonate? Where are you getting ready to test God? Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again real soon. Bye for now.